Okay, today we have got a Mercy game on Route 66. It's Mercy all the way through, both sides. Sent in by Shoku Daikiri. I'm also in this game. I'm McCree, so you can see me be bad at the same time. This is around 2,400, 500 SR, somewhere around there, I think. I'm not sure the exact number. So we've got pretty much your most standard team possible, with the exception of if Mercy was replaced with Lucio, and if McCree was replaced with Soldier, it would be your pretty much standard as possible team. What we want to see happen, and the easiest way to win this game, would be sick Beyblades all day. We won't be seeing any sick Beyblades, but that's what we'd see in an ideal world. So, let's go. No one's over here, no one's overextending. Far back, good. We can see everybody, this is good. Peek the corner, no one's there, it's all good. No one's still there. And this is a little awkward where you're standing right now, because you kind of stand... Go back a little bit. You kind of stand around here for quite a while, right in the middle of the street. Kind of like in the only possible place where they actually can shoot you from between the shield and the wall. We don't really want to be standing in the middle of the street. We want to either glue ourselves to Reinhardt's backside or just sort of stick behind cover a little bit more, because we're very out in the open right now. Looking around everywhere a bit like a scared deer. Playing Mercy, understandable. Somehow Soldier has gotten way the fuck behind us. Don't see that happen, really, do we? No, so that's unfortunate. No, don't peek, don't look back at Soldier. You don't want to be looking back at him, especially since he already is trying to kill you from here. Ana's going back to deal with it. That's not who should be dealing with that, but everybody else is also being bad. So, we're in a bad spot right now. Also, you should be healing Ana right now, just as a general thing. If you have an Ana on your team and you're playing a support, Ana is like the highest priority target to heal most of the time, because she cannot heal herself. She is the only healer that can't do that, unless she uses her grenade, but if she has to use that to heal herself, that's just unbelievably sad. So we're in an unfortunate position now, because we've got people up here that are shooting down at us. We've got a Torbjorn up there, and his turret. We got Zarya over here, though Zarya is running away because D.Va is chasing her down. And we got Soldier over here. So there's kind of danger in every direction right now. But where is actually the safest place is right on the payload, right next to Reinhardt. Because if we go back, we can already figure out where everybody is. And Reinhardt over here has got like a full HP shield. It's certainly not getting broken, so this is pretty much the safest place we could be standing right now, because we can't go back and just try to be far away because Soldier is over there. And we can't really stand around here because we're exposed up here, first off, but Torbjorn's turret is currently shooting at you. So, since we can't back up because there's danger over there, the best thing we could do is just glue ourselves to Reinhardt's arse again. As is a recurring theme when you have a Reinhardt on your team. That's usually the safest place you can be. And suppose, like, we know Soldier is off behind us. Supposing he were to come out of the tunnel as well to try and catch us, Reinhardt could just be like, bash, bash. And the turret can't, like, shoot you if you're down there, sort of between the payload. Or, like, behind Reinhardt and also behind the payload. It's much harder for them to actually get to you there. So, now, let's play again. So now, I know what you're doing here. You're going over here to try and heal D.Va because she's going into critical HP. D.Va's not actually the most important thing right now. We can finally see where Soldier is again. He's not coming through the tunnel, he's coming down the street at us. So D.Va's chasing after Zarya. We don't actually need to heal D.Va, even though she's in critical HP, because, first off, she's probably winning this fight because Zarya has been running away from her the whole time, but she's also going towards a large health kit, and D.Va has a second life. What we've just seen happen is Reinhardt just jumped off the roof and charged straight at our Reinhardt behind us, and Soldier seems to be looking straight at him as well. So Reinhardt is actually the one who's about to be taking the most damage, and he doesn't have a second life. Like, we can assume he got pinned, unless the enemy Reinhardt fucked up. So right now, we should be swiveling around to try and make sure Reinhardt doesn't die, rather than going to D.Va, who is most likely going to be fine. This also ends up... See, because D.Va ends up picking up the full health kit, and you're just like, you're healing her at full HP when she doesn't actually need healing. Like, you should just change to the damage beam if you're not actually healing someone, so we can get the full... You want to have as much uptime as your beam on as possible, and if you're healing someone at full HP, you're not actually doing that. So, what happened here? So we're in bad times right now, for many reasons. So we're in here. Soldier comes in after us, so right now we've got, like, a couple options. We don't want to be here, because Soldier's right fucking there, and he's obviously trying to kill us, right? So we could go with the D.Va, right, and try and hope that she protects us from the Soldier, which is probably the best option, because over here we can see a fight still happening. Our Reinhardt just died, their Reinhardt did not die, so over here is a bit uneven right now. So we could go over here and hope the DPS protect us, or we could tether to Ana and just sort of call it quits, cut our losses, and try to escape into the tunnel. Consider it, like, D.Va's probably the best bet, or just trying to get over to Ana so you can just get out. Because we don't want to be here, we want to be away from here as soon as possible, ideally. Torbjorn even jumps down to get in on the fight, and Torbjorn ends up killing you, because he just gets, like, a shotgun in while you've got Discord. Is this the video? That's the video, okay, I was afraid that was on my end. Oh look, there's my name. That's okay though, I don't care. Alright, so now we've all got to get back. D.Va did end up dying to Torbjorn, because most of her team was dead, so, you know, that's fair. This is fine, sit back, heal McCree while he's trying to get the turret. Eventually the turret's gonna die, yep, turret's dead, good stuff. So down here, right, so let's go back a little bit. So we see that Reinhardt's going in to pick a fight. You start healing D.Va while she's at full HP, so you should just immediately stick the damage amp on her. Because, well, what we want to do is, Reinhardt's going in, so he's about to be taking the most damage, so we want to be, like, healing him as soon as possible. But you can't do that right now, so it's just, like, a little efficiency thing that you want to immediately attach your damage amp to D.Va, because she is not going to be taking damage, but she's going to be doing some damage. So that's just like a slight optimization thing. Then we get in, we heal Reinhardt, everyone's backing out, because Reinhardt got fucked up, that's a good idea. McCree's going in to be bad, I'm going in to be bad. Fucked up the flashbang, still, like, committed to it. This is fine, yep. Don't heal, just heal someone else while you're waiting for that to wear off, it's all good. Now what happens here, this is critical positioning error right here, right? Because, as we said, when you're a support, you want to be as far back as possible that you're still doing your job, because you want to be able to, like, see where all the enemies are, you want to see who needs the support, who you can be healing or damage amping. Right now, you are actually standing on the front line. You are the most up member of your team. You've walked through Reinhardt's shield to get here. We do not want to be anywhere near here. We want to be as far back as possible, like, not even looking at the enemy. Well, okay, no, we don't want the enemy to be able to shoot us. We do want to be able to see where the enemy are, or, like, know where the enemy are. You know what I mean. And then you go up, like, to touch the payload. People do this, where they, like, go up to touch the payload just for the sake of touching the payload. Like, we can't be touching the payload right now because there's, like, people in every direction just, like, shooting down at us from, like, everywhere. Right now we need to, like, get pressure off the payload before we actually go up and start pushing it. And you're just going up here as Mercy to, like, touch it for the sake of touching it, which is bad times, and you end up taking some damage. You don't get, like, properly punished for it here, but supposing the enemy team was better, right? not to say they're terrible, but supposing the enemy team was better, and they have like a McCree on their team, and you're touching the payload, McCree just pokes his face over the top, throws the pocket sand down at you, and you die for free, because you just walked up too far. So, further back, stay much further back. Not really doing anything, because we've put the healing beam on Reinhardt at the start there, so... like, if you're healing someone at full HP, you're just honest, you're not doing anything. Like, you should, like, heal McCree, damage amp McCree. D.Va's about to get into a mech, so we don't actually have to worry about healing her for now. But don't try to avoid healing people at full health if possible, because it's not doing anything. Alright, so D.Va's got some people, McCree got Ana, damage amping, Reinhardt because he's hitting people, that's all good. There is a slight thing here, this is very nitpicky, but you start healing me here while I'm using High Noon and I've got the healing debuff on me. So you should just either don't bother at all because I'm dead, or just like keep the damage amp on Reinhardt or put the damage amp on McCree so that maybe High Noon kills someone a little bit faster. It's just, the healing beam is, again, not really doing anything. That's very nitpicky, though, because this fight's, like, already over, basically. Many ults are wasted here. Right, so let's back up a little bit. Ana ults Reinhardt when the only people on the enemy team left are Reinhardt and Zenyatta, who has just used Transcendence. And Reinhardt, this Reinhardt, fight's over. They've lost this fight. They're going to have to give up this point. Reinhardt uses his Earth Shatter on a fight there's no way he can possibly win. So everybody's wasting some ultimates over here. But in the end, like, you know, this fight's over. All the defenders are dead. All the attackers are alive. So we're gonna get the first point. Some people try and come in. What you do here I don't like either, because... like, I know, you're like, you're going over to heal Reaper, but right, so, Reaper's coming over the edge in Wraith form, and you fly, and so we know someone over here is, like, attacking him, because, well, it's Soldier, because we saw him get hit by a Helix rocket as well. So we know Soldier is over here, and you just fly forward to heal Reaper. You don't need to fly forward, because he's running towards you in Wraith form, so you can just walk up and heal him instead. And it's like, again, it's like a minor thing, but it's like if you fly forward and someone just happens to catch you for it, it's not good times. It's kind of a thing with Mercy where people get into this thing where they're like, oh, I'm gonna try and save them, I'm gonna fly forward and try to heal them through it. And what happens a lot of the time is the Mercy just dies, because the Mercy puts themselves out of position to do that. It's sort of, people try to go for a very altruistic playstyle for Mercy, if that makes any sense, but I think it makes a lot more sense as someone like Mercy to play very selfishly, actually. Just sit very far back, don't expose yourself, because the thing that makes Mercy overpowered is not her healing, because if you're talking about single target healing, Ana is better, and Discord is better as damage compared to the damage amp, because everybody is doing more damage to one person. So the thing that makes Mercy really overpowered is her res. So you need to try and stay as safe as possible as Mercy so that you can get the big team fight swinging reses, you know, things like that. Or just like resing one or two people to like keep pressure up or keep tempo. So this is good, we're really far back, no one could possibly hit us here, this is good. There's a little bit of a thing here you do I don't like, where you walk forward and, like, expose yourself a little bit to heal Ana. Again, Ana is, like, highest priority, but she ends up grenading herself anyway, and you could have just sort of peeked around the corner from, like, over here where you are now. Again, we're healing, D.Va's sitting over here like, I need healing, while she's actually still basically fine, and we're healing her while she's got the debuff on her. This is, again, just not really doing anything. We could be healing the people over here, or damage amping someone, and these people are getting fired at right now, so they're a higher priority than D.Va over here, who's being a bit of a big baby about the whole thing. So, advance a little bit. So, McCree's being bad, I'm being bad, walking forward. Reinhardt just got pinned and killed, so we're having some bad times now. Alright, so... you res two people here, then Soldier gets you. Like, it's fine to res 2 people, that's what you can reasonably expect to get a lot of the time, but it's like the situation that you're in is a little bit not ideal, because there's a little bit of a lag there. So, we hear Soldier ult. We know Soldier isn't in front of us because we get a good look into the area, and Soldier is nowhere to be seen. So, when we hear, I've got you in my sight, we also just see Soldier a little bit ago up on the ridge attacking Reaper, so we know roughly he's over in that area. So he's behind us now, is basically what we can figure out. And I'm not sure if you res because you think you're going to die. But, and also we see Soldier kill me here, just as the gate's closing. Like, I would have just not resed anyone in this situation, because Torbjorn's ulted, Soldier is coming up behind us with the tac visor on. So, basically there's no way that resing 2 people swings this fight, because Soldier's just gonna come in from behind and kill everyone. And there's nothing that anyone can really do in this position, because we're not in a position to kill Soldier, really, but we can't go forward to get away from Soldier because the Molten Core is happening. So I think this is a situation where it's better to just hold your ultimate and try to get a better res in the future, because if the enemy team is using their ults now, res in the next team fight would be much more impactful, because the enemy team won't have their ults. And then Soldier comes in, gets you, gets me, and Ana, Ana also dies. Oh no, Ana kills Soldier! Oh, good job, Ana. Good job, Ana. What a hero. Alright, so everyone's coming back. Everybody should be just coming back to wait for everybody to regroup, but of course people are still going forward. This is fine. We're out of line of sight. We're using the payload and D.Va as cover. That's fine. Critical mistake from Reinhardt about to be made. Right there. Now his ult does miraculously hit people because we hear the damage tick off of your Caduceus staff. But right, so Reinhardt's just jumped down here. He's in critical HP. He's got Discord Orb on him. What he needs to be doing right now is just waiting to be healed, because the second he takes this shield down, he's fucking dead, as we can see in the future. So he needs to just be waiting right now. And he, like, ults straight into the other Reinhardt shield as well. The Reinhardt does take it down, and he miraculously hits people, but he needed to just wait. Right, and now we're gonna be able to see, like, the impact, like, the res would be more impactful right around here, because we could have resed, 2 people just a second ago. See, we could res 2 people right here, right as, the nano boost is about to wear off. And this fight would be closer to swing, would be perhaps swung with the res, because we'd pick, Reinhardt back up, and we could perhaps get something going off that while the enemy team is missing their ults, but, you know. Now, realistically, you don't get out of this situation, right? Realistically, you're dead here, but I do think, if we go back... Gone back a little too far, but that's okay. So, you and Ana are in no man's land, and that's bad, and you want to get out. You fly over to Ana here, but the thing is that Ana is in, like, a very exposed position. Everybody knows she's there, and everybody's about to be shooting at her, and you fly to her. I think you had a better chance to escape if you just dropped down and ran through the building and tried to run to the tunnel before they noticed. Like, Zenyatta has noticed, but, you know, I think that's a better chance to go through here. Because flying up here, they're already even shooting at Ana by the time you arrive. And Ana, like, gets you, and everybody's just like, oh, we got 2 for 1 there. That was pretty sweet. Realistically, though, you probably died regardless. So Reinhardt was still trying to advance while people are respawning. That's bad. Everybody's just getting, like, fucked up right now. Miraculously, I killed Ana. Don't know how that happened. I'm about to make a critical error and go off in the tunnel with my ultimate and try to flank people. Which is not what I should be doing. And I think you follow me because you know it's me and you're sort of trusting me. Terrible decision, because this is not what I should be doing. And that's pretty funny that you, like, a pixel of your shoe bounced off the gas station. And this is bad times right here. This is absolute. Like, you look at this, you shouldn't have followed me to begin. I shouldn't be over here, and you shouldn't have followed me, because this is all in all just a mistake by everybody involved right now. But you look at this McCree, he's just used High Noon from behind the enemy team and killed Zenyatta. He's fucking public enemy number 1 right now. This McCree is fucking gone. I am a dead man. You just cut your losses right here and say goodbye. But you actually fly. Miraculously, they don't kill you here, actually. But that just. You can't be afraid. When you're playing Mercy, you can't be afraid to just be like, nope, that person's gone. There's nothing I can do for them. You gotta know what to just cut your losses and say that person is dead. So, this is unfortunate, because this is a situation where you'd like to try and get a big res, but the team is very scattered right now. Like, you and Ana are the only 2 people on the payload, because Ana, like, Diva's, like, trying to get the Torbjorn, soldiers coming up behind to flank you and Ana, Reinhardt went forward and died, McCree died up here, because he's bad, as we established. So, you and Ana are basically fucked right now, and you can't get a good res because everybody died in such a scattered fashion that it's not feasible. So now, we're basically fucked, everybody's just rushing back to the point, I've gone around the back to just try and sneak in. Do manage to touch it. So right here, this is a little bit of the overtime pressure getting to you, I think, because right here you go in and you res 3 people. You could have gotten a 5-man res here, right? So actually, let's just go forward a little bit further to show it, right? Because, like, the 2 people that you didn't res die very quickly after you do res, right? Like, this would all still be within the overtime window, because it was literally like a second and a half later that they both died. You could have. So it's overtime. Like, we know the whole team actually is getting back to it at roughly the same time. And we know everybody is going to be going straight to the payload because it's overtime. So priority 1 is just keep it in overtime. We know the whole team's going to go here, and we know the whole team is going to die very quickly because fucking everybody is shooting at the payload right now. Absolutely fucking everybody. People who ain't in this game are shooting at the payload. So if you just waited like an extra second and a half, 2 seconds, just sort of like hid back here in this crevice for like a little bit longer, you could have actually gotten a 5-man res. Which realistically probably still didn't win this fight, but it's like, it's just a, you know, that's something that could easily swing this sort of situation in the future. I think it was just like, oh, it's overtime, I gotta go in now, because that's like the default reaction to overtime, but patience is a virtue. So, it's sad times. Payload didn't get very far. Reasonably probably don't expect to win this game. Spoiler warning, don't win this game. And we end up with a very sad team composition as well. This is the team composition we end up with. We get 3 DPS, Reinhardt, and 2 supports. Excuse me. So, this is... We want to see one of these people change to another tank. Ideally, I'd like to see Mei change to a tank, because I don't think Mei is particularly useful on Route 66. There's too many, like, alternate ways to go around, and Mei is better when people are gonna, like, funnel through one central area, you know, like the 2 control point maps, for example, or, like, your quintessential Mei is good here maps. So, we're just waiting around for the round to start, just playing some Daredevil stunts. So, a little bit further back. So, everything's fucked right at the start, right? And I do mean everything's fucked. Nobody's standing where they should be. I'm standing over here because no one wanted to stand on the roof of the gas station with me, so I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to come over here and just fight around this area, which is not where we want to be. We want to control the high ground up on the gas station, because if we're fighting over here, all we're doing is killing the enemy in front of their spawn, which doesn't get us anything, but if we die, it's incredibly punishing. So we don't want to be over here, we don't want these people to be up here. May's okay down here, honestly, because she can, like, go around and, like, get people. I'm over here, and, like, because everybody else is too far up, that also forces you to come up too far as well, and it's all terrible right at the start, is the gist. And Anna's, like, over there as well, but we don't want to be anywhere near here, really. So this is basically the best place you can be standing, is just sort of out of line of sight amping soldier. This is about the best you could do. Reaper's overextended drastically. He's gone, like, practically into fucking Earl's Diner to say hello. And he's died, of course. So, right here, we have some sad times, and we die. So, this is another situation where realistically you probably died, regardless, but what you're like is, oh, I'm gonna go this way, I'm just gonna push past D.Va, so that I can get to my team faster. But the thing is with that, we're gonna have to walk right next to D.Va, and we can't even actually get out of the tunnel, because D.Va just, like, fully body blocks it in a second. And we're walking right next to D.Va, who's got shotguns, and we don't want that. D.Va has, also far is, like, right here, as we can see, shooting over. We don't want to be near D.Va. D.Va has just used her boosters, though. So, we know she can't actually chase that fast. Rather than trying to push back past, which is the quickest way to the team, it's also the most dangerous way we could take to get to the team. If we run backwards away from D.Va, we can probably get round the corner before she kills us, but we'll be probably like half HP or something like that. But that's still, like, the safer route than just trying to muscle our way past here, because we don't get very far. We don't get very far at all. And ideally, you wouldn't have even been up there to begin with, but again, the team being so forward necessitated you also be too far forward, so it's one of those things where a bad situation just led to another bad situation. Now, everybody's dying over here. Everybody coming back. Alright, I don't like what you do here either, because you fly over here. The best place you can be standing, roundabout at this point in the game, is the roof of the gas station. The gas station roof is the safest place because it's hard to get to the roof easily, and high ground is the best place we can be standing. Star Wars has taught us this, so, you know, it's true. And what you do is you fly over to these people over here. You don't need to fly over to these people anyway, because, like, Soldier is full HP, Ana is basically full HP, and you could have reached them with your beam from the roof of the gas station. Now you're just down in the street, which is a far less advantageous position to be in than the roof. So, I don't like that. I prefer you just stayed up on the roof and just used your beam from up there. Okay, and we're too far forward again. Our team is, of course, still too far forward, but we could take a better route here to minimize risk, because we just sort of, like, I prefer we aren't in the street at all, but we then just cut straight across the enemy's line of sight, because the payload's right fucking here. Everybody's looking over here, and we just cut straight through their line of sight to get to Soldier. Whereas we could have just sort of, basically, I would have written this guy off, because he's, like, he needs to be turning around and just fucking running for the door over here, to be perfectly honest, so I would have written this guy off. But if we had instead gone, like, that way, and just gone around the outside of the gas station, we could use the gas station itself as cover, and we'd be less exposed while trying to get up here. Or again, ideally, I'd still rather just be up on the roof where some people are starting to actually collect, which is where everybody should have been to begin with, but we weren't, you know, we went over that. So we get chunked out immediately coming in. Everybody's coming in to just have a big melee in the gas station, and Farah is going to pick you off. This is the sort of situation where you want to be running back. Like, I wouldn't peek this corner right here, because what's going on in this gas station, we don't want any part of. We write off this whole area as being too dangerous to expose ourselves. Like, everybody should just be falling back, like, this way right now. So, I would just start backing up, like, put the beam on Ana and start running away to safety. Because we try to heal Reinhardt, this is not gonna work. Whereas we could have been backing up and then healing Ana since she's at low HP, but we're too far forward. Whole team's too far forward still, of course, but we're too far forward and we get picked off by Pharah. And that's terrible, as you may imagine. This is, of course, also a very tragic game because we're a fair way into this game already and your ult's only 50% charged. That's how badly this game is going, because right now you should have a fully charged ultimate in most circumstances. So, shouldn't even be trying this. Like, this payload has 6 people on it. Like, Reaper shouldn't be up here, you shouldn't be up here. You should just be going further back and waiting for the team to, like, gather up here, because this here is the best chance we've got to defend now. That point was gone. We're too far forward again here. We don't want to, we're standing over, like, really close to the enemy again here, because, like, this is our base over here. Right now, we're pretty close to their base by standing over here. I'd rather we be standing over here, sort of, like, you know, behind the tavern, basically, just waiting for the team to recollect, because we as Mercy standing around in this area here, there's nothing we can do. We're just basically, like, sitting at, like a sitting duck out here. May also shouldn't be here. She should be waiting for the team to gather up and try to defend here. And, you know, now we've got 85% ult, but, you know, it's not great. We got all the ults are getting dropped. Everybody's ulting. Squimbly over here has actually miraculously killed 2 people, which is probably more than he had any claim to actually get. I think he might kill a 3rd person here as well. No, but they do. Miraculously, we actually kill quite a few of them. Probably better in this situation to just stick up there and attach to Ana, but I get that you want to come over and, like, contest the point because you, like, you know, it's bad times. But probably be better we were just sitting up on that ramp with Ana. Ana could be healing Reinhardt, and you could just be, like, healing Ana if she's getting shot at, which reasonably you would expect her to be getting shot at. And as we can see, very sad times are coming straight at us, and there's basically not very much we can do about this, because we can also see from the general lay of the land right here that it's very unlikely, A, you'll survive, B, that you're going to get a good res off, which is going to be the only res we actually try to get this game, because everybody's scattered. Reinhardt's the only one up here with you. Soldier just ran off that direction. People are still respawning. Like, it's pretty sad times. And you res just Reinhardt here, which is the best you could reasonably expect to get out of that situation. Honestly, no one else was going to come forward at that point. And we lose the game. Sad times, but not very shocking considering the way it's been going up to this point. So, let's see what the play of the game was. I actually didn't watch far enough forward to see myself the first time I watched this through. Who is it? Probably Soldier or Diva? It's actually Deity Joe on Reinhardt. What did he even do? Yes, that does make sense. Yes, I see. It wasn't even, he didn't actually even do very much. And sad day, Mercy's the only one that got a card with 7,500 healing, which is sad for a few reasons. So if I were to give you one piece of advice to work on from this game, it would be play more selfishly, basically. Like, put your own safety above the other people's safety a little bit more, because Mercy, more often than not, is the most important person on the team, because her ult is game-changing, but she needs to be alive to use it, and everybody is trying to kill Mercy. So I would advise playing further back, just generally speaking. Try to stay at the back of the group so that you can see everybody, You can see who needs supporting. You're much harder to kill the further back you are. Not so far back that you're, like, not being helpful or you're at risk of getting picked off because you're too far behind. But, you know, just further back than you were playing. And don't be afraid to, like, I see somebody making a mistake and just be like, oh, that person's gone. Because if it's a low percentage chance you can get that person out, you're better off just writing them off because it's not worth putting yourself in risk to have, like, a 10% chance of getting somebody out, you know? So, just play more selfishly is the advice I would